On Law Day, people throughout the nation think about our rights as Americans. What rights do you think about? Some people think about key civil rights, like the right to be treated equally, regardless of our race, religion, or gender. Others think about principles at the heart of our justice system: the right to a fair trial, to a lawyer, and to be considered innocent until proven guilty. Yet others dream about the privilege of becoming a U.S. citizen. Our rights are spelled out in the federal Constitution. 150 years ago, the Constitution was amended to extend many of our most basic rights by ensuring that states could not infringe upon those guarantees. This year on Law Day, we celebrate the approaching 150th anniversary of that amendment, the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. Adopted in 1868, when Southern states tried to extend slavery through a series of laws called the Black Codes, the 14th Amendment declared the following: "No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law." Those words guarantee equal protection and due process under our system of laws. In the years since the adoption of the 14th Amendment, it has been cited in defense of anti-discrimination laws, marriage equality, the Equal Pay Act, and many other areas. The 14th Amendment was invoked to address racial segregation in Brown v. Board of Education, the right to personal liberty in Roe v. Wade, and the fundamental freedom to marry in Loving v. Virginia. The principles enshrined in the amendment also underlie recent changes to our criminal justice system in New Jersey. On January 1st of this year, criminal justice reform took hold in our state. It is rooted in the core principle that people accused of a crime are innocent until proven guilty and entitled to equal treatment regardless of how much money they have. Before January 1st, a defendant's ability to make bail was a key factor that determined which criminal defendants could go free before trial and which stayed in jail. 1 out of 8 defendants held in county jail before trial were not there because they posed a risk of danger to the community or a risk of flight. They sat in jail because they were too poor to post bail of $2,500 or less. Meanwhile, other defendants who had access to money could make bail and get out of jail even if they had been accused of very violent crimes. There were serious consequences for poor defendants who posed little risk and were presumed innocent but sat in jail for weeks and sometimes months before trial. Some lost their jobs, lost contact with family members, and lost custody of their children. Since criminal justice reform went into effect a few months ago, judges now look at objective factors to try to measure whether a defendant will commit a crime or fail to show up for court if he or she is released before trial. Prosecutors also have the ability, for the first time, to argue that a defendant poses a serious enough risk of danger or flight to be detained, to be held until trial. Those defendants must be brought to trial more quickly as part of a new speedy trial law that also went into effect this year. As a nation, we will continue to face legal challenges that involve civil rights and issues of fairness. Because the 14th Amendment speaks directly to those questions, it will continue to be relied upon to help ensure fairness and justice for all under the law, both in our home state and throughout this great nation. That is certainly worth thinking about on Law Day.